beloveds. I'm fussing with my hair. It's Friday. It's been kind of a long week. It's been a hot week. I hope I said good morning, beloveds. I think I did. I'm not entirely sure I'm awake. I'm frustrated because I like to take pictures, and there are a lot of pictures on my phone. A lot of pictures on my phone. Well, I also have a couple of idle games on my phone. And one of my idle games, which I've been playing for about 3 years, and I'm in the middle of an event, wants to update. And it won't let me update it won't let me play until I update. There are too many pictures on my phone, and it's like, here, delete all these apps. And I'm like, I actually use those apps. So I'm having to go and move pictures off of my phone into my computer. And I don't know if I've moved enough yet. Yay! All right. We are doing Living the Science of Mind. So, let's do the housekeeping really quick, which is to remind you we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. The website is creativelife.org. The constant contact is email, info@creativelife.org. If you will email that, you will get one email a week, unless something unusual happens, because we do live in hurricane country. So one email a week. The hot link, it tells you what's going on for the week of the month. The hot links are hot. And it will also, it's a blind CC, so nobody's going to get your email. And no, I already told you the hot links are hot. So yeah, that's it. Okay. So social media. What I want to do is remind you on the social media, we do not monetize it. We do not want to deal with the ads any more than you want to deal with the ads. So what we ask you to do is to engage with our pages, engage with our posts. If you will go like, subscribe, share, follow, comment, it bumps us in the algorithms, and we think we have good stuff to share. So there's that. All right. I think I have everything. Said everything. So what we are doing is, this book, Living the Science of Mind, is a collection of essays that came from Ernest Holmes' take-home course. Basically, it was at the back of the Science of Mind magazine, which you could then mail off for. And you would get one lesson a week for 48 weeks. I assume they took it off for Christmas and Easter. I don't know. They actually did bind it. I guess it's now bound into and I think it took 6 books. So it's really cool. I don't think it's currently available. You can check the archives, but check your used books, webs. When I was on Abe Books, they were available. So, yeah. Okay. You can tell I'm not awake because I keep using All right. Where was I? So that's where the essays came from. But if you read the description of the book, it says Ernest Holmes' own commentary on his signature work, which is the Science of Mind text. So it's that too. But really, honestly, what I think it is, based on the way that it's titled, is I think people wrote to Ernest or came up to him in person and said, well, why do you do this? Or what about this? Or because there's one in here that says, why do we talk about God so much? There's several that are the history of New Thought. So I think that's what it is people came up to him and asked him questions. He's like, well, let me answer the questions. It's very personal, one-on-one, feels like he's talking directly to you. I love it. I hope you do too. All right. So we've got a fairly short article today. We are in a little section called God, Your Personal Self. And we've been, all I have to do is change one word in the title, which is why occasionally I forget to change the date. The essay today is The Friend That Is Within You. So let's see what Ernest has to say about the friend that is within you. And I brought my water with me today because we've been under a heat dome and it's been really dry. Okay. All right. The friend that is within you. You have a friend, that is with a capital F, by the way. You have a friend within you who is closer to you than your shadow. This friend anticipates your every desire, knows your every need, and governs your every act. This friend is the God within your own soul, the animating presence projecting your personality, which is a unique individualization of the living spirit. This friend within you is infinite, since it is a personification of God. It is not limited by previous experiences which you may have had, by present conditions or passing situations. Okay, that is really important. We say principle is not bound by precedent. And so one of the things that's really important is it doesn't matter the way it's been. You can change it. Okay? It's extremely important to know that God is not bound by the conditions that you are in, what your previous experiences have been. That friend that he's talking about within you isn't bound by any of that, which means your conditions can change, your situation can change. You can change. Okay? That's an extremely important little paragraph right there. It has no inherited tendencies of evil, lack, or limitation. It has never been caught in the mesh of circumstances. It is at all times radiant, free, and happy, which means you can be radiant, free, and happy. You just got to unleash that part of yourself. All right. To your intellect, this invisible friend may seem to be someone else, not your real self. But such is not the case. Some have believed that this friend within you is a mediator between you and creative spirit. Others have believed it to be the reincarnation or the rebirth of your previous self, while still others have sincerely believed it to be some disincarnate soul. But you are not to accept such beliefs, for the real person within you is the direct personification of the universal spirit. It is your inner, absolute, and perfect self. The friend within you is different from all other persons, yet it is united with all. There is some part of you which reaches into the nature of others, irresistibly drawing them to you and drawing you to them, binding all together in one complete unity. Right now, you are one with all persons, all places, all events. I mean, that's the basics of science of mind teaching, right? This friend within you lives in a state of poise. It is above fear. It is beyond hurt. It is sufficient unto itself. The friend within you is continuously looking after your well-being, as much as you'll let it. It is always wishing to make you happy, to be well, to be radiant. Being the very fountain of your life, this friend is a luminous presence, evermore emerging from pure spirit, evermore expanding your consciousness. It is the high counselor, the eternal guide. It is your intellect, the essence of its understanding, the nicety of its calculation, the appreciation of its temperament. Okay. All right, Ernest. There can be no greater unity than exists between you and this inner friend. Rumi said, either Rumi or Hafiz says that God is closer to you than your jugular vein. This is what this essay is in the vein of. There is nothing closer to you than that friend, that internal spirit, that part of God that you have individualized to be you. Okay. There can be no greater unity than exists between you and this inner friend. It spreads a table before you in the wilderness of human thought. Its cup of joy runneth over. It laughs in disaster, triumphs over human failure, and mocks the grave. That sounds like a poet. When this present experience shall be rolled up like a scroll, it will pass on to new and greater experiences. But today, it is here. Trust it today, and you may trust it for all of the tomorrows yet to come. Thus, your tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow will be but an expansion of your endless today. Your personality is an outpicturing of the impressions which you have received from this inner friend, this deep personality, this radiant and divine present, whose life is light, whose consciousness is peace, whose presence is power. You are an incarnation of this person, this presence, and this power. It may be difficult for you to believe that there is such a friend, but it is there at the very center of your being, directing your thought and causing you to triumph over every defeat, for it is an unconquerable hero. It who keeps silent watch within you lifts your consciousness to the realization that you are forever protected, forever safe, forever perfect. So the interesting thing about that essay is, if you like yourself, like you've done the work, you like yourself, that's an easy essay to read, right? If you don't like yourself, that's not exactly the easiest essay to read. To read that within you there is this divine presence. Especially when we are raised in religious systems that tell us that the divine is out there, not in here. And so that's one of the things that when you come into Science of Mind, one of the first things that you really have to kind of wrap your mind around is that God is everywhere, including in here. And that God is, what God is what you are. But then you also have to reconcile what you believe God is. Obviously, by reading the article, you can tell that God believes, that Ernest believes that God is radiant and joy and presence and power and, all of the good. That is what Ernest believes. If that's not your idea of God, then having God inside you might be a little scary. So it's worth, so I get that article. I get that article on two levels. Now, I have done the work. I've always had an interesting relationship with God, mostly because when I was listening to all of what everybody was saying, because I've read a lot of world religion, and I've been to a lot of different kind of, faith traditions. A lot of it, I was kind of like, no, you know what? I don't buy this. And maybe that's because I was listening to my inner friend from very early on. And my inner friend was kind of going, you know what? There's more to life than they're telling me. So if that was a hard article for you to hear, I encourage you to go back and look at what your idea of God is. And we can have a conversation if you need to. Okay? All right. So with that, I'm going to leave you with I'm going to encourage you, as I always do, and hopefully always will, encourage you to have a great day. I want to say a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, take care of business day. Let's wrap this week up day. We are looking forward to Catterday. You got this day, a stay out of the direct sunlight day, a drink plenty of water day, a don't let yourself get overheated day, a do what you gotta do day, a make sure you take some breaks day, it's okay if you're out of words day, a good day, and if that is too much pressure. And believe me, it has been recently for me, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You're a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action. Hang on. A beautiful masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time at your own pace. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. Explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be. Because the divine knows you to be good. It's all the divine knows. And from there, anything is possible. Anything is possible. All right, beloveds. Okay, Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9:15. I get to go to the park tomorrow, so I'm kind of excited about that. Get to see my blue jays and my squirrels and maybe even the cardinal. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.